Okay, agenda, you're on deck, Mr. President. Yes,
Thank you
state
very
of
much.
the utility.
Very good. And some of this was covered in the committee report on Tuesday, but obviously Nebraska City 1 remained in service during January until we had a unit trip that occurred on Friday evening, January 29th. Inspections revealed there was significant damage that occurred to the B isophase bus under the generator. Obviously, we're spending a lot of time around that. We believe that unit will come back on February 19th. Or around that time frame, and then it will also be coming off and going through its spring outage beginning on March 4th. So we're continually working on our activated carbon injection, dry sorbent injection on Nebraska City 1, and all of that is going well. Nebraska City 2 remained in service for the entire month of January, and it has been in consecutive service for 64 days as of the end of the month. So both of our generators on Nebraska City and Nebraska City 1 and 2 is going well. Renewable energy contributed to 17.2% of OPPD's retail energy sales in the month of January, and the wind capacity factor for the month of January was 48.3%. Obviously, at Fort Calhoun Nuclear Station, we've, as was discussed on Tuesday, we had an INPO special, and that's Independent Nuclear Power Organization, special focus group visit to Fort Calhoun during the week of January 25th. The team looked at a variety of aspects around our operational excellence, equipment reliability, and performance improvement. All of that went very well. There was a great report out. Shane Merrick and his team are working on the specific kind of findings that occurred in that for our ongoing commitment to excellence in operations. And so we'll obviously have the opportunity to report on that in future meetings as well. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission confirmatory action letter inspection completed with 7 items recommended for closure, including the high energy line break and the reactor vessel head stand associated with the containment internal structure commitment. Those are very positive to get those items closed out of our CAL. So that's going very well. I would just say the transition with Mr. Merrick and our new director of site operations, as well as our new plant manager, that transition has gone incredibly well. And so obviously the plant is doing well, and we're seeing an uptick in that performance as we kind of move into our INPO plant inspection coming up later this spring. And just a reminder, our Nuclear Safety Review Board meeting is February 17th and 18th next week. And so we're all preparing for those activities as well. We see continued growth in Sarpy County, which has resulted in significant residential and commercial development in the vicinity of substation 1278. This is obviously in Mr. Gay's area around 84th and Capehart. Mr. Ulrich knows that area very well down in South Sarpy. And the purpose of this project, which is a transformer addition to that substation, really is to improve reliability by offloading some heavily loaded distribution circuits in that area. The scope of the project consists of adding a new 33 MVA transformer to T2 and roughly 5 miles of overhead distribution consisting of 2 new circuits. It's scheduled to be completed in June 1st of 2017. And so we're seeing a variety of projects like that. Obviously, we had a fairly significant snowstorm. It was identified as level 1 for OPPD on February 2nd. Obviously, we had a number of different parts of the organization, certainly the T&D group, our substation, metering group for our downline teams, certainly our meter reading group, our customer service group in the call center, corporate communication group, and a variety of other folks were working very closely across the organization to either restore power or to assist those that were restoring power. At the peak of that storm, we had over 350 circuit operations across the district. At peak, we had about 22,500 customers out of service. Our crews did absolutely a fantastic job in the field, and the folks that supported them did as well. We had about 90% of all of those outages completed by early evening, but then, as you well know, the wind picked back up to over 50 miles an hour, and so we had another 4,500 customers that were out, but had them restored by early morning. So just a special special thanks to the OPPD team. We'll send something through Director's Update, which is a list of some great kudos. I'm trying to think what we actually called it in the call center, but it was a kudo list that we got from customers that was, very important, I think, for the board to see, and certainly for our teams that we've circulated across the senior management team. It's called kudos or something like that. You Rock Award. Yeah, there we go. So You Rock. So You Rock. And so it was just some great feedback from our customer owners, which was always great to see. What was interesting about that is that 43% of our customers use electronic channels to report their outages, most coming from mobile devices. So I think that's good news. It's a sign that customers are becoming increasingly more comfortable with our self-service technologies. And that really allows our customer call center folks to really speak directly with customers that do want to report an outage through the traditional means of calling in. So I think that's important as well. The 9th annual Heat the Street Run and Walk for Warmth is scheduled on March 5th at Turner Park at Midtown Crossing. That event will begin at 7 a.m. for check-in, and then actually it will, I believe, begins at 10 o'clock. And so if you have the opportunity to attend, that's great. It's a great opportunity for us to raise money. That walk will raise typically over $100,000 to support the energy assistance programs, typically between Metropolitan Utilities District, Black Hills Energy, and Omaha Public Power District. And so it's a great opportunity to do that. Those customers or employees that are not able to attend can certainly go to heatthestreets.org and fill out a donation form on that, or you can actually increase your energy assistance program funding through your electric bill, and you have the ability to do that each month. Just a little bit on some of the work that we're doing on our finance side. Nebraska City 2 turbine insurance reimbursement. I think we've talked to the board about that, but the district worked with FM Global, who is our non-nuclear property damage insurance company, following the 2014 Unit Number 2 turbine incident to assess recovery options. And we had received some funding from FM Global because of that damage, but we also so to date, we've received about $2.5 million as an advance settlement, but recently FM Global has confirmed that they will also reimburse the district for the additional cost of the Nebraska City 2 turbine replacement. That's very positive for our customer owners. That will come from the insurance proceeds and obviously not from capital or from operating expenses as well. So those are positive. Our team, John Thurber and Lisa Huff and the team did a great job of working with FM Global, Edward as well, to receive those dollars. So that'll be around $6.8 million is the benefit to that. So it's pretty significant. OPPD has been benefiting from the use of online auction services. So typically what we would do is have a once a year, all of our equipment, construction vehicles and equipment, we would have a large auction. And what we decided to do several years ago is kind of move away from that on doing it on an annual basis and really do it on a monthly basis and do it online. And what we're finding is we're seeing just over the last couple of years, there was a 30% increase between 2013 to 14 and a 13% increase in our revenues that we're receiving from these older retired OPPD items from 14 to 15. So we're seeing us receiving more revenue. That comes back and helps our customer owners. So that's pretty significant, and congratulations to Ron Johansson and that team that's doing some great work. A couple people items that I think are kind of important. The OPPD African American Network had its kickoff on January 26th. The network's vision is to embrace and use the talents of our African American employees by developing and advancing our current population and to attract and retain new talented African Americans to OPPD. Maurice Kimsey, who is an engineer in our distribution planning department at our Energy Control Center, is the president of the network. I think that's really important. So just for the board and also for our customers, we have several enterprise resource groups that are doing just a great job of engaging the organization. We certainly have our young professional group, we have our women's network, we have our Society of Engineers, and our African American network. And did I leave anybody out here? I think that's it. So So anyway, I think that's really positive. They had a great kickoff. Their objectives and missions are really dovetailed very closely to the corporate missions and vision as well. So we're looking forward to that opportunity to work with the African American Network. And then in March 2016, OPPD will be kicking off our innovation initiative. It was obviously Cole Epley did a nice article. Thank you very much, Cole, for that. But it really is laying out the opportunity for us to really capture ideas of our employees. And it's really gaining a lot of energy within OPPD. And so we've identified the 4 lead and one lead innovator and 4 innovating facilitators that will kind of kick this initiative off. And we'll have the opportunity to report back to the board in the upcoming months on the progress of that. But it'll be a great opportunity, and in my kind of board go-arounds, I'll give a little deeper presentation about that and what that looks like. So, so that's kind of it from the CEO report.
Nicely done.
Thank you.